high, but she was not as bad. Her pressure was kind of high, and she was a little bit too heavy. Look, in a year time, she was slim and nice, and he was strong. They went on a honeymoon on one of these Norwegian trips. Now tell me about disease. Remember when I got there, he had diabetes. He was impotent, had gout. Oh, forgot about the gout. The gout was eating him up. That's right. Now, here this man with gout, diabetes, and a whole bunch of other stuff, living in the front part of the house, and the woman in the back, and he did not speak to her. Why? Do you think he didn't love her? Sure he did. But his disease preventing him from letting go, from reaching out and hugging. You know, the hug? I mean, I need love. I love love. I love a whole lot of it. The more I get, the better I feel. So in order for me to be a recipient of this love that I so like and need, am I not supposed to be a giver of it too? I mean, that is how simple it is. I mean, that's the love that I expect from each and every person that I meet, because that is all I have to give. But when I was eating meat, and I had my diabetes, and I was wearing my glasses and was impotent, I didn't like nobody. I couldn't like you or anyone else because I didn't like me. Because I was sick. I was eating the food that was forced on my forebears, and that was starch and milk, which obstructed my arteries, confused my brain, brought inflammation to my prostate gland, had my nerves so bad. So you see, going back to God, that is always the answer. But going back to him, we have to be careful in selecting the things and know what he made, like in milking a goat and in milking a cow. There's a difference, isn't it? The milk that comes from the animal that God made would be good, right? But the milk that came from the animal that comes from the animal that God did not make, that would not be too good. So which is the animal that God made between a cow and a goat? Oh, he made both, right? Well, no, he didn't. He made the goat. He did not make the cow. So when you make a goat, the milk is alkaline. But when you make a cow, it's acid. And you know what acid things does to the body? It eats up your body. That is where all disease begins. Erosion, mucus in the body, because we're not eating the food designed for us. So, we begin to see now, it begins slightly with a headache at 16. Oh boy, these violent headaches, you know, when you're 16, and you get this pain, it begins then. And then you begin to get fevers at night. Then you begin to feel pains, and around in your 20s, you begin to have these fibroid tumors. The doctor says, you have some fibroids there, but you don't bother them, they don't bother you. Now, how could something inside of you that doesn't belong would not bother you and not grow in you? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, but we accept this. So for us to give this planet what we were designed to give the planet, we have to do what? Heal ourselves by returning to the food of our fathers. But we're not going to do it with one leap, one jump, one act, because that is a violation of life too. The sun rises gradually. Everything moves gradually. A baby sucks his mother's nip. Gradually, he sucks more and more until one day he sucks maybe for half an hour. And when he wean gradually also. So we have to now find a means to wean away from this food that we call, this stuff we call food. Because we're sick. We're impotent. We're going blind. We're diabetics. We got bad nerves. And we have short patience. And the one ingredient that is so missing for this journey to be understood and accepted is the thing that I said I like, which is love. But it is not the word itself. It is that electrical communication that is between you and that other person or everybody besides yourself. But to be able to reach there, to accomplish that place that you want to be comfortable with, you have to provide yourself the environment inside of yourself. And that environment could not be provided by eating meat. Just cannot. It's impossible. Love leave. When you put meat in your mouth, love leave you. Why? Because love says you don't like yourself. Because this stuff was not designed for you to eat. Your body was not designed to consume meat or milk or cheese or butter or eggs. So love leaves and leave you hanging, hating yourself and everybody else, and everybody's going to start hating you. But as soon as you get off of it, you find that love enters, and everybody sees you now, just smile. Like I remember living in Honduras as a little boy. There was a man that used to always pass cursing on some very nasty words, but we got used to his nasty words, cursing everybody, and everybody just stay away from it. And one day, he stopped cursing, and he was clean. Something happened. He got a wife, and everybody would walk up to him and ask him, how did he do it? But everybody still loved him. They would stay away from him, though, but now they would go to him, because he'd become a magnet. So for us to journey into the 21st century at the same pace that we are on now, well, there would be no black folks in the next 10, 20 years to see the 21st century, because they have predicted AIDS is devastating and many other diseases plus the nutrition. But I just saw something which I'll share before I close. You know, the African people has been grossly misunderstood for their contributions that they made. And the greatest contribution the African made was to show the world that the best way to live is to live naturally. That was the greatest contribution the African was able to make, is to live naturally and in harmony with the planet that supports us. That was the most important thing. But because we are ashamed, or became ashamed, of the place that our foreparents occupied, such as the not clothes wearing, that was indicative of a savage. And then we begin to look at our foreparents as savages. But they were not savages. They were natural. They were very natural. They love everyone. They travel the world. When you go to Mexico, they talk about us. So it is necessary for us to begin now to put together more forums like this, talks. Sister Dorothy is very instrumental in bringing this about. For you to listen to this new perspective. The perspective is what? To cleanse the body. Disease is what? One. So when you leave from here today, someone asks you, well, you know, my grandmother had Parkinson's disease. Oh yeah, she has mucus in her brain. Located someplace in her brain that need to be removed. But my uncle is suffering with arthritis, where he has mucus in his bones. But what about my cousin? He has AIDS. Where do you have the mucus in his lymphatic system? His blood and his skin. But what about my mother? She's going blind when the mucus is on her eyes. And anywhere that mucus concentrates, it leaves the name of a disease. And the mucus only comes when you have ingested something that did not belong in your body. And if you want a beautiful test, try this one, and then you will see. Stop eating for 21 days. Just drink water and juices, and if occasionally a fruit or so. Just don't eat anything. At the ending of 21 days, you're going to feel very good. You're going to feel very healthy and strong and light. And then you go and sit in front of some fat bag and a glass of milk, and you're going to be sneezing, and your nose is going to get tight. In fact, many of you sitting in here, noses get tight already. I could sit all the way from here and hear that little baby with mucus in his chest. The little baby that she's holding. Why the mucus in the baby's chest? You see how young that baby is? And the baby already has mucus in his chest. Of course. Now imagine that baby holding that mucus in his chest without someone reaching out to really help that baby. That mucus would be there until time immemorial, eating away the lining of his chest, his bronchial tubes, his lungs. And then one day the baby get a fever, then the baby get pneumonia, then the baby passes because someone did not come in time to really help the baby because they did not know what was going on. That's all disease, mucus. The only reason why I knew that I could cure AIDS, it wasn't because I knew and I set out to cure AIDS. No, I did not set out to cure the AIDS or any disease. None of it we should institute. We set out to nourish the black people back into health. That was our intent. Because we noticed that the black race was suffering more than any other race in the area of nutrition. When I went to Africa, I got scared. I got scared as hell. I got scared. I don't want to go back to Africa right now. I mean, I do not want to go close to Africa right now because tears comes out of my eyes. When I went to Africa, and then I saw heads of state that invited me because Dr. Sebi is known all over the world. So these heads of states invited me, and what are they going to eat at the dinner table?